Hey guys, welcome back to the Bobcat Wizard. Today I come to you today with my 2016 T770 Bobcat machine. I'm having a small issue with it, and I'll describe that as I go along here. I've got the E63 back from the job site. Got to get it washed and cleaned up. Had both of these machines on a job site, and this thing started giving me some problems with what's the code? 1076-16, I think it was. And that is a fuel rail pressure fault. I think that's what that is. So let me explain to you what was happening. I'm gonna try to help you guys, and I've got to fix this. I've not fixed it yet, but I've narrowed it down to the problem. So what was happening was I would just be running along and be running fine, and all of a sudden beep beep beep, and the machine would shut off, and it would start right back, okay? But as I went along, I discovered, and then doing some research, that obviously it's a fuel issue, and to determine that it was a fuel pickup issue. So I would come back here to the back of the machine here, and this little primer bulb would be flat, would be sucked shut. So that told me that basically the system's trying to pump fuel in, and but it just basically couldn't get no fuel. I did change the fuel filter, as some people suggested. I did remove this altogether because some people was saying online that maybe the bulb was bad. So I removed this and put this hose up here and removed it altogether. Also put a new Bobcat fuel filter on there. Went back to work, and obviously the same thing. So then upon doing some more research, I had an issue one time with the fuel pickup in this Bobcat, and I'll try to put a picture up right here maybe. And but this little, there's a little piece at the end of here that you can see here that's I think it's tungsten. It's really heavy. It's a little cylinder, and it has like 12 holes in it, 13 holes, something like that. Has one in the very bottom, and then it's got a series of holes in the sides. So basically what happens is that that tungsten, it goes to the, I gotta lift the cab up, and it goes in the top of the tank there. And what it does, it just rolls around in the bottom of the tank and picks up fuel. So if the machine is on an angle like this, then basically it would come down to this side and pick up the fuel and that kind of stuff. So it just rolls around on the bottom of the tank. I had that come off one time on a job site here about 2 years ago, and replaced it with a new one. And so anyway, I pulled the cab up at the job site, pulled that out, and discovered that what's happening is that tungsten, all those little holes are getting filled with, I think it's black algae is what I've narrowed it down to. It looks almost like hard dirt. We're going to remove this one again because it's doing it again, and I'll show it to you. But I removed it and cleaned it all out, took air and compressed air and brake clean, that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, got it, you know what I mean? And also I put a can of seafoam in the fuel tank. So thought maybe that would fix it. I went back to work in about five and a half hours. Thing was running great, and then all of a sudden it did it again. Beep beep beep. The same code 1076-16 popped up there. I'm gonna try to get over here and stay out of the wind for you guys. I talk really fast. But so anyway, it did it again, and obviously I knew sort of what the problem was. So then what I did to finish out the day, I come over here and I removed this, and I took compressed air and blew from here back, and basically tried to blow it out just so I can finish up the day, which I was able to. So evidently put a little bit of compressed air in it. It blew all the trash back out of those holes, or at least a few of them, and I was able to finish the day. And so anyway, got back here and cleaned it out again. It was completely clogged again. Not completely, but it was clogged again. So got back here and I took it all back apart, cleaned it. At this point, drained all the fuel out of the tank, and tried to get all the fuel out. This damn thing don't have a drain, as far as I understand. So what I did is I removed the filter, removed the filler neck here, and I went in right here. That's the tank there. I don't know if you can see this, but I went in right there, okay, and tried to siphon or vacuum or pump. Basically I used a little pump, and thought I got all of it out, all the fuel out of there. So then I went and I scoped it with a scope, and of course I'm 50 years old, I can't see a damn thing. So I put the scope down in there, and it had a little light on there and shit. But anyway, No, I wasn't able to see anything. I was, anyway, there was still some diesel in the bottom of there. So whenever I stuck it down in there, as soon as it hit the diesel, it was darker than all hell. So I wasn't able to see if there was anything in the bottom of the tank, but I had assured myself that I'm probably pretty good, because I had got out everything I could possibly get out. But my understanding is that tank up underneath there is molded to the bottom of the chassis here, and it's got a lot of cricks and crannies in it to try to get the capacity of the fuel. So they molded it in there. Now, to get that fuel tank out, I understand you have to pull the engine out, or you have to pull the hydraulic system out of there, which neither one that I'd want to do. And so anyway, so I put it all back together, cleaned it all back out, went and ran it again. I put another can of seafoam in there, and I think some other stuff called clean or something like that. And all those products, they're known to fame, they all work, is what they say. But you know, listen, everybody's got a different situation, and I don't know how I've got the black algae or whatever the hell that is in there, but I've got to get rid of it. And the only way to get rid of it is basically to remove the tank, put a brand new tank in there, or either get it all out of there. So upon calling around at Bobcats and Bobcat techs and that kind of stuff, I do have one more option, and that's the option that I'll be doing today, and I'm going to show you guys. And it's frustrating, okay, because I really don't want to pull the engine out. This engine, the last time I changed the oil was 2330, so it's probably got about 2300 hours, something like that on it. Really don't want to have to do that, but evidently I've got contamination in the fuel there. So I got some other stuff too that I'm going to give a shot. I'm going to put in the tank and try that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do this time. And Bobcat Tech told me to do this, and I think it may work. Okay, it might work. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. My last resort is having someone pull the engine, or me pull the engine, or the hydraulic system. So I'm going to give this a shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this diamond mower off this thing. That's a beast. That's a really nice mower. That thing's about 10 years old, but man, that's a nice mower. Machine handles it really good. This machine's been an overall really great machine, and I recommend anybody that's looking for a skid steer, get the T770 Bobcat. This has been a great machine. 2016, and had some DEF problems with it, and got rid of all that garbage, and I have had no problems with this machine up until now. And of course, it's not the machine deal, it's something with the fuel and the contamination of the fuel. But that's a really like machine. Obviously I got a Bobcat excavator, so you can tell that I'm a Bobcat guy. And but listen, I've had Caterpillars and all kinds of stuff. This has been one of the best machines I've ever owned. So let me go and get this off here, and I'm gonna get the cab raised up, and I'm gonna show you where the pickup tube is at. Pull that joker out, and I'm gonna show you what's going on. Hang on. All right, so I got the cab all raised up here. Listen, when that goes up, make sure this locks, and I did. So make sure that locks, because what we are up underneath the cab here, obviously with the cab picked up here. But so the other day, whenever I had the issue the other day, I cleaned all this out. As you can see, it's pretty clean. Damn leaves are blowing in as fast as I can get them out. But I have cleaned this entire machine here. Okay, here's the leftover old DEF tank, which is not used anymore. All right, so what we're looking for, I'm gonna try to get down in here and try to get you guys, but there's a little nipple right there. I don't know if you can see that. My light is shining on it, but that is the little nipple that we're needing to get to. the tank, this is the tank here. So what happens is the tank comes up through the center, goes up underneath the motor and all that, lays out sideways, so it goes out that way and then toward the back. But that is the little the intake, or the the suction for the fuel system. So I'm going to try to pull that out there, and I'm going to show you this, but I just want to let you guys see where it was at. But my light is shining on it right there. I know you can't hardly see it, but it's right there. That is the hydraulic pump there, okay, and it's right in front of that, toward the front of the machine. There is one behind that, which I've dealt with that one too, but that is a return. But this one is the one that we're looking for. Let me see if I can get that out of there. Okay, so here it is here. I got it in my hand here. We're gonna go in the shop here. Grab the flashlight. We're gonna go in the shop here and see if I got the fans running in here because it's hotter than all hell, okay? But we're gonna go up here on the bench here. We're gonna lay it up here and try to look at this thing. It is very interesting. I'm gonna show you what I did to it before. So hang on just a second. Let me set this up for y'all. All right, as you can see here, so this is the little elbow here that slides down the bottom of the tank here, and so basically it's just a grommet. This slides, it hooks onto the top of the tank. Obviously the suction hose goes there. Most time that people have issues with the machine just basically stopping, what happens is this pickup tube breaks off right there, because there's a lot of weight on this thing as it slings around and moves around on the bottom of the tank. This thing is really heavy. This little piece right here is really heavy, and this is what goes around the bottom of the tank here. And what happened to me before was it broke off right there, I guess just from the bending and shaking and all that stuff. I've got all this ordered brand new. It should be here today. I'm not going to install it today, but I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and replace this while I'm here. But you can look on this hose, and it's got various debris on it, and these are the little holes that I was talking about. So what happens is these little holes get clogged. You can see that one right there clogged up. I don't know if you can see that, if the camera's going to focus on it. But what was happening is there's another one clogged up. And so this little piece, I think what's happening is it's floating around, bouncing around on the bottom of the tank. I've probably got some sediment in the bottom of the tank. And I'm thinking what it's doing is it's packing these holes like this as it bounces and frames around or rolls around like this. I honestly think what's happening is it's packing these holes full of whatever that is. More than likely black algae that, you know, it's all broken up sitting in the bottom of the tank. So what I'm going to try to do is get that out. Now, I told you guys the other day that I thought I'd repaired it. What I done is there's a hole in the bottom of this. I ended up drilling that out to 1/4 inch, okay? It was a hole this size here, so I went ahead and drilled that out. And what I was hoping was that basically it would suck it, get all the dirt and debris, pull it through the hose here, and get it into my fuel filter. And then of course I would just change fuel filters, okay? And so I can try to get it out of there. But honestly, I never thought that. I thought that hole there was big enough to basically stop, you know, to not let it do it again. But it did it again. So today's option is what I'm going to do. I'm obviously, you can see the dirt. You can see the dirt in these holes here. There's a little piece right there. So it's like hard, like black dirt. I'm guessing it's algae, I'm guessing. But a lot of this stuff, whenever I pulled it out, it banged on the side. Look at that. You can see something right there. It banged on the side of the tank there, or the frame there, and I think I broke most of it loose as I was taking it out. But what I'm going to do today, the Bobcat tech told me to go ahead and drill out the remaining of these holes to that 1/4 inch. And what we're hoping is it you know, it ends up sucking all this out, okay, through all this. Hopefully it doesn't get caught in the creaks and crannies of these little fittings here. But at this point I've got to try something. And then what I did is I went and bought me on Amazon, I bought some inline filters. These are 3/8 metal on the one side here. This is the end. Put them on my fuel, and I'm gonna try to catch all this debris in these little filters before it gets to my $100 Bobcat filter. Okay. Now I will probably have, I'm hoping if this works, I will probably have to change these things probably every 3 to 4 hours, I would suspect. But, and I don't mind, these things are a couple bucks a piece, okay? But I'm gonna try, what I'd like to do is I'd like for this thing to pick all that debris up, hopefully, get it caught in here, and these are plastic here, so I'll be able to see it. So I'm hoping I'd be able to see all this debris in there, and I'm hoping that basically, you know, this piece, as long as this doesn't get clogged in here and there, I'm probably good. But I'm hoping that everything's good here. But what I'm hoping is it goes in here and gets caught in here, and then what I would do is I would just change these out. And if I've got to buy some more, I'll buy some more. I'm hoping that it will suck all the it would suck all this debris out of there. So let's get over there to the vise, and I'm gonna go ahead and start drilling it out. I don't know if you guys ever did any of this kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments. I would like to know. There's another hole clogged up there. But you can see, you can see it just gets clogged up in there, and then basically the fuel system, it shuts it down. So but I'm not sure. I would have thought that hole right there would have, you know. And also the other, my thinking is this is sitting up off the bottom of the tank. I thought maybe this would still pour fuel in, but evidently it didn't. I tried that one hole, did not work, so now I'm going to drill out the others here. You've got to have this weight on there to be able to hold that hose down in there, I assure myself. So or else I would just eliminate this and stick the hose down in there, but this thing's really heavy. Okay, so I want to leave this on there now. Providing all this works, then I'm gonna, hopefully once I start getting clean filters, that providing this works, then I'll put a brand new one of these, which I've got on order. It should be here today. This entire piece I'm gonna go ahead and put brand new, and then it'll be back with the small holes. But first of all, I got to get all this out of there. You can see it here. It's just black, and it's actually hard. What it does, it packs up in there. You know, you can take your finger and crush it, but it packs up in these holes here. All right, let's get over to the vise. This actually drills pretty soft. It's not really hard metal. You can see here, and this bit's not really one of the sharpest bits I have, but you can see I'm barely putting any pressure on it, and it's cutting it pretty good here. So it's not really hard material. I suspect it's probably tungsten, I guess. I don't really know. This is obviously going to lighten it up some. It's not going to be as heavy as what it was, but obviously we're trying to achieve something here. So you know, fun looking at this. Well, you can see I've got the holes all drilled out here. If you can see that. Now they're all 1/4 inch holes. Okay, so definitely I don't think it's going to pack up in there. But what my concern is the debris getting caught in this little 90 right here. Because what happened is when I just pulled this out of here, remember I told you I drilled that one out earlier? Well, there was a few of them clogged up, but they weren't clogged up like they were previous. Okay, so when I was over there drilling this, I did that right there, and a bunch of debris come out of this. So I honestly think that hole may have worked, but I think it was pulling the debris, and I think it got caught in this 90 right here. So I'm considering something. Considering maybe cutting this 90 off here. Remember, I've told you I've got a new one coming, okay? But I'm just trying to get this out of there. I wonder if I were to cut this off right here and then do away with this 90 and then stick the hose directly onto this, and tighten it down with a nice hose clamp. There's a little rib on this thing right here. I just slid this down here. So I don't think it'll go down in there. And of course, it's not going to go down in there once I put that on there and then I put that tight on there, okay? I don't think it's going to slip off in there. But I'm thinking that, you know, thinking that elbow is going to be a problem, because I guarantee you that debris will get caught right there and I'm going to have the same issue. So, all right, let me do some more thinking. All right, let me get you guys caught up. So I did decide to go ahead and cut this, and I'm glad I did. So essentially, that went like that. And my hunch was the debris would get caught in there, which it probably would. Look at this hole, okay? That hole is literally, what, 3/16 maybe? Something like that. So that is the inlet for the hose, which is, I'm guessing it's a 3/8 hose, I guess, maybe a 5/16, but that little hole there, that's where the debris. So anyway, let me tell you what I did. Okay, so I started drilling. I put a 1/4-inch drill bit, drilled all these out like I showed you, and then this same hole here was only that 3/16. So I took a drill bit and was drilling into this, okay. And what happened, and I know it was getting hot, but this thing was getting hot, okay. This thing was on here like this, and it just melted the hose right off the damn thing, okay. So at that point I had to take it loose. So I discovered that these little clamps, I might be able to reuse them. If not, I'm gonna put safety wire on there. But I took a little pick and just picked that out, and this little clamp, I was able to get this clamp off there, which is what I should have did to start with, but I didn't realize that's how they come off. I thought they were a crimp, and then if I would have took them off, I thought they was junk. But anyway, but I did. And now the only concern now is I've got this wall really thin, okay, and also you can see a little piece of it flaked off there. So now that's my concern. This is still heavy, so I still think it would work, but I'm gonna give this thing a shot. Obviously cut that hose and put that hose back on there, and I'll probably put that clamp, maybe some safety wire on there. Now, so this I'm tossing, but then I need to drill this. This is the one, obviously you see how it went here, okay. This is the one that goes in the top of the tank, and my idea is I'm going to slide the 3/8 hose on top of this, and then I had a clamp here, and I'm just going to clamp it. This sits in the tank here, this grommet, and then this is down there. You know, the hose hooks onto there. But this is what I got planned on doing. Instead of the hose coming in right here like this, it's actually going to come in like this. I went out there and looked on the machine. I've got room. So I think this will work, but my issue is now I think I need to drill this all the way through. But my only concern is that's going to be really thin. If I consider doing a 1/4 inch, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to lighten it up. I'm going to have to go less than that. I don't know, this is a 13/16. Yeah, 13/16 will go through it, okay? So if I did a 7/32, that's the next size up. That's gonna put it really thin down here. Obviously I need to drill. I got to drill all the way through to get this to work. I don't know. Let me figure out what I want to do. All right, so what I did is I went ahead and put all this back together. Hey, I was going to tell you too, these darn little clamps, that was so easy. I don't know what I was thinking. Just took a pair of pliers and clamped it back together. So if you guys decide to do this, if this works, make sure you take the hose off so you don't melt it like I did. But what I decided not to drill this out, okay, because I was afraid that this little inlet down here would be too thin, and then this would end up breaking off in there, which, you know, wouldn't be the end of the world, but rather not it do that. So what I did do is I took the 1/4 inch bit and I drove down in there, probably about 3/8 of an inch or something like that. And then from that point on, it's only 3/16. So that hole is only a 3/16 hole in there. So my suspicion is if this clogs up, it's probably going to be right there. Although this is a straight shot, I'm hoping that it'll continue. Whatever gets in here, I'm hoping the hose is bigger than obviously the 3/16 hose, but I'm hoping whatever gets in there that it'll bypass and get into that little inline filter that I'm going to put on here. So I'm going to put one of these little inline filters on there. So okay, so let's go back over to the machine there, and I'm going to go ahead and try to slide this on. Going to put a hose clamp on that hose there and see what happens. All right, so I've got this on there. Let me show you what I did. All right, so this is the hose. I'm getting ready to put it in the tank, but you can see what I've done there. Now that's a straight shot instead of an elbow. I'm getting ready to slide all this into the tank here. So I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try. Got to turn this to get that to go down in there. Once I get it down in there, I can slide it in there. I want to put it down. Hang on. All right, guys, I got it in there. I don't know if you can see that, but I think that's going to work. The only thing is I don't really like is the fuel line now is laying like against that hydraulic pump very slightly. I may end up wrapping it with something, but I'm hoping this is just a temporary I hope that this is just a temporary thing, just to suck all this debris out of that tank, and then I'll put the one that belongs back in there. So I'm not even sure if this is going to work, but all right, so I've got that done. I feel pretty confident. I just don't like that being against that hydraulic pump. That's really going to heat up the fuel more than likely, even hotter than what it is. I'm not sure if that could potentially be a problem. I'm not sure, but I may end up I think I got some stuff in there I can wrap it with and see. All right, so let's go to the back. I'm gonna put on this inline filter, set this thing down, and see if we can get this thing started up. And my hopes is it's picking up all this garbage and I see these damn filters just get full of stuff, so that would be nice, and then that way get all this stuff out of the tank. All right, hang tight. All right, so let me show you what I did back here. So what I did is, that's that little inline filter that I told you that I got from Amazon, and I had to cut me a small hose. I had to get a small hose here, okay, because this hose originally attached to here, okay, the plunger or the primer bulb. So obviously you can see some of the fluid or the fuel is drained and sitting in there. So I put this on the outside. I think what I'll do is I cut this zip tie where all these are at. I think I'm gonna put that on the inside of that whenever I go to operate it. I'm just gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna start pumping it now and see if I can get this thing to prime and see. And so let me see what'll happen. Yep. Okay, so it actually, so I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to. Oh, and the primer ball's already hard, so that joker's already got it's already got fuel up there. Okay. All right, so I don't know. We're gonna find out here. I'm hoping that thing. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is that this little mechanism right here is the return. And there's a little T right there, a plastic T right there. I'm a little concerned about that getting clogged, but you can see this there's an elbow right there too. So I don't know, I may end up having to redo some stuff here, but let's go start this thing up and see what happens here. Alright, so as you can see, I got a T770 running. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but anyway, it's an idea. I've not seen any trash in there yet, but I've not ran the machine and moved the machine around, so I'm really interested in seeing if this when I move the machine around, that some of that debris gets up in there. So I don't know, we'll see. All right guys, that's it. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to keep some filters with me, and obviously a screwdriver and such, and so I can be able to change it. So I'm going to give it a shot. Hey, if you guys got any other if you guys got comments or something, or think that maybe should have something I should have did a little bit different, I don't know. I would love to know, because you guys are just like me. These things need to run and operate so we can make money. And I don't mind fixing it myself. I'd rather fix it myself than instead of taking it to the Bobcat dealer and letting them do it. So I'd certainly like to hear from you guys if any of you guys went through this, or if they actually had to change the tank or done what I did and didn't work. I'd like to know, but I'll keep you guys updated. So you guys leave a comment down below. All right, Bobcat Wizard, my name is Chuck. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.